The guy who's currently the most avoided fighter of our generation at the moment, Shakur Stevenson.
Never had a big fight like that. He's not a household name or nothing.
What more do you want, bro? Like, you are 28, you're undefeated, kind of had a late start already to boxing.
Logan Paul had Dillon Danis shook, apparently. What the world thinks. He was mumbling his words. Maybe Dillon Danis is just a internet fighter. The WBA announced that they are upgrading Gervonta Davis to the super champ. Basically, he's an email champ now. 2-division email champion, Gervonta Tank Davis.
Heavyweight division, which is such a good division, but it's literally one of the worst divisions right now in boxing because the fights are not happening, and one of them being is because of Tyson Fury, you know?
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Last Round Boxing Podcast. You got me, Rudo.
You got me, Pablo.
Got me, Asael.
And this is Last Round Boxing Podcast. We've had an interesting turn of events with the Logan Paul and Dillon Danis situation. I think since the last time we've spoken about it, he showed Aiden Ross on his live stream the picture, and now eventually there's a video out there. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but now into the turn of events this past last weekend, apparently now Nina is suing Dillon. Is that too much? Like, I don't think I've ever seen an opponent's wife or soon-to-be wife suing the husband's opponent or soon-to-be husband's opponent.
Yeah, gosh, I don't know. Maybe in her, it's a defamation type of thing. But I don't think there's really that much merit to it, and the worst that would come from it is just some financial punishment. There'd be no prison time. Saw some stuff going around that, even Dillon himself said it, that Nina was trying to put him in jail to stop the fight, which isn't true. There's no time in jail for the punishment of the crime. It'd just be I think 150,000 in fines or something like that.
That's crazy for a bunch of pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any case either because all this stuff is made public.
And she also herself, the video that probably got her panties in a bunch is the video that she herself put it out. You know what I'm saying? I've been, 7 days without dick?
Yeah.
So stuff like that. But also, what do you guys think of the whole face-off that was released? At least, like, that clip.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people are starting to, it's starting to get a little bit more interesting now. It's not just a one-sided like, roast or, one-sided shit-talking, because before, Dillon Danis was just going in on Logan Paul, and Logan Paul was not responding. He was not saying anything, and it just seemed like Dillon Danis by a landslide. But now, the Logan Paul fans are rejoicing over this little clip that's going viral of the face-off, where Dillon Danis is stuttering his words. Man, it seems like he could not get a sentence out. Obviously, the full face-to-face has not come out. The Zone and Misfits gave us a couple of little teases of the full interview, and yeah, Logan Paul had Dillon Danis shook. Apparently, that's what the world thinks. He was mumbling his words. So maybe Dillon Danis is just a internet fighter, a troll.
Nah, that video was very clearly edited.
Yeah,
it was very clearly edited to make Danis look really bad, with the whole stuttering. Because there's no... I don't know. I mean, also knowing Logan Paul, has the knack to be doing stuff like that. I don't know. He's really good at really somewhat gaslighting, the people on what really actually happened. I mean, those clips of him stuttering were from the face-to-face that they had, but they weren't all consecutive, back-to-back like that, It's obviously made to make Danis look bad overall, which it did, because people were like, "Oh, I guess Dillon Danis is an internet fighter." He can't back it up outside of Twitter, outside of X. People were saying that, but what you were saying, that it's more like, Logan Paul started talking more, starting to be a bit more vocal on social medias. I still think it's a very big landslide for Danis regardless, because, I mean, Logan doesn't even have his ex on comments. You know, he still has it disabled. So, I mean, who's really taking the L there? You know.
Yeah, that's a great point, honestly, man. Like, if he's not even able to handle the true public pushback, you know, he's limiting his replies on X and all his tweets that he tweets out. So, yeah, it's not looking good for him.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the full face-to-face interaction will look like. If it is edited, then, you know, kind of sucks for Logan. I think it's another win for Dillon Danis in this psychological warfare before the fight or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, it kind of looked like... I mean, I was kind of laughing when I saw the video. I was like, damn, there's no way he's stuttering in front of Logan. He kind of seemed as though, like, you know, when you go on a date, and you don't really know how to speak, like you're just kind of nervous. That's kind of how it felt.
Just fumbling, and I mean, obviously it's edited. I mean, this interview is gonna be like 23 minutes long, so they didn't drop a 23-minute long video. So of course it was clips, and especially for this one, I think the Zone did the right thing and actually like making the Logan look as best as possible and Dillon Danis look as worse as possible, because obviously, like we were just saying, Dillon Danis has been winning with the landslide in the promotional, you know, battle, and they released this to give Logan Paul a little bit of ammo, and you know,
to help him out,
you know, they gave him a little layup, and I thought it was good, you know, edited for sure. Let's see if maybe there's only like 4 parts of Dillon Danis stuttering in the whole like 23 minutes, where like the rest is actually him just being relaxed and chill.
But some of them were kind of bad, though.
Some of them were kind of bad, yeah.
Like, I don't remember what the question was, but Logan asked him a question, and he just kind of like, just doesn't say anything. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? So nervous for what, bruh? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what got into Dillon Danis at that moment. Maybe it's just that particular part in a 23-minute video, but we just have to wait and see till the full interview comes out.
Yeah, full interview. And then speaking about other things, you know, sticking to the prime card is the Walid and Deen the Great.
Yeah, we got some developments in the prime card. A lot of finally, you know, this is a very highly anticipated prime card, and we've only known about obviously the headliners, KSI, Tommy Fury, and Dillon Danis and Logan Paul. But being that the prime card is actually only about a month away, about a month and a weeks or so, we're finally getting some new developments. Some new fights have been announced, and we had recently Walid Sharks and Deen the Great 2.
Yeah.
The highly anticipated rematch is finally official and will be on the prime card, as well as King Kenny, who was supposed to fight on Kingpin, but that organization is absolutely in the mud right now.
Bankrupt.
Yeah. King Kenny is going to be stepping back into Misfits, and he's going to be fighting Anthony Taylor.
Yeah.
So some great developments, honestly. This card is looking stacked.
Yeah, from like top to bottom, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely like the best one for sure. And there's been a couple ones, like especially the one they had last year with KSI fighting Swarms and Pineda. That was actually kind of memorable. I think that was the first time anyone, even not just in the influencer scene, but also in the pro scene, I don't think that's ever really been done. But this, you got, you know, big names and stuff like that. And that's probably the fight that I'm mostly, apart from the main event, co-main event, like the rematch between Deen and Walid. So I'm definitely hoping I'm definitely hoping to see Walid get his get back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want him to win. I'm rooting for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it called? So, big fight, especially that rematch, because, you know, the first fight was probably one of, if not the best, you know, Misfits fight, you know, of all time, you know, even though it's only been alive for like a year. But, yeah, their first fight was crazy. You know, you had Walid, who was just dominating, dropped him, twice, had him completely shook and out of his game. And then out of nowhere, Deen came out and just stopped him after a very controversial stoppage.
With the right hand, man.
The right hand, yeah, it don't fail. And,
his bread and butter.
Yes, sir. And Walid, a little too comfortable after, you know, knowing he was leading the fight. And, you know, he paid the price. So, you know, there's been a lot that's happened. You know, Walid's been fighting, Deen's been fighting. They both had tag team.
They were on the same team.
Same team, and then ended up fighting, you know, each other after the fight, after they got the win. So yeah, I was very interested to see how they were gonna try to marinate this fight, or marinate the rematch. And I guess they had the whole tag team to kind of heighten it because they both did not want to be or especially Deen didn't want to be in the same team as Walid. But well, now we have the rematch. And big whoever wins this fight easily gets put into the top 10 Misfits pound for pound list, maybe even top 5, because a lot of people already have Deen for some reason.
Yeah, they do.
In top 5.
A lot of hype around Deen.
Yeah, a lot of too much hype. I think I believe way too much
unmerited hype.
Yeah, it's like, okay, bro, like come on.
What do you think that is?
Well, because he's champion and he knocked out Walid.
I think it's just his power, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are just like, oh my, he has power.
He has power. He beat Evil Hero in his debut, and then he beat Walid, and then he fought Pulley, I believe, earlier this year, and then he went back and I think for the tag team was his last fight, but he hasn't been as active as Walid. But yeah, they gave him a lot of props. Very surprised after this fight. If he loses, I hope he loses. I think he's gonna lose. He's probably gonna be dropped from the top 10, and Walid's gonna replace him.
Yeah, so you think Walid is gonna come out victorious
Oh,
in the rematch? The get back?
Yeah, he's not gonna. If he actually doesn't get too comfortable again like he did in the first fight and just sticks to business, just straight business, no monkey stuff in there, no fooling around. He's gonna get the win easily. I believe he has just more skills, just a better technical boxer than Deen. Deen's just way too reliant on the right hand. As shown in many of his old fights, he just really relies on that punch, and if you're able to neutralize his best punch, he's not the best boxer.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was just really the main thing was Walid got a bit too cocky in that fight. The fight was going his direction, and he was doing everything better. He was showing that he's a better boxer, more skilled, better range finders, more faster than Deen the Great. But the only thing that Deen had was the power, and he was able to get the victory in the first fight. But I think this is a get back. Walid should come in with a firm head, strong mentality, and understanding what he did and wrong and his mistakes that he committed. And this is gonna be the get back, the rematch, and he's gonna get it back in blood.
Yeah, I think he's gonna stop Deen.
I think it's very possible.
I think he stops him.
It's 100% like plausible for him to stop Deen.
Yeah, I believe he stops him. But what's it called? Next up we have the King Kenny and Taylor, which I'm not too much of a fan of that fight. I like King Kenny being in the card, but maybe not fighting Anthony Taylor. Yeah, Anthony Taylor wise. I mean, I guess Anthony Taylor's coming off the biggest win of his career.
Hype, man.
Yeah, against Salt Poppy. People are putting Anthony Taylor in the top 10. They have him in the list for the best pound for pound, and it's for the 175 belt, one that what's his name, Slim vacated, I believe so. So yeah, I don't know, what are your guys' thoughts about that one?
I think it's a pretty big challenge for King Kenny. Obviously we all know about the ups and downs of his career. Right, currently he's a major up in his career after his completely dominant performance against Windersson Nunes. He completely outclassed him.
Oh my God.
He just showed he was levels above. But we're talking about Windersson Nunes, So he definitely has a lot of hype around his name right now, and I'm sure he definitely feels like on top of the world right now. Speaking about King Kenny, but listen, Anthony Taylor is a tough guy.
Yeah.
You can't go in there. He showed it in his last fight against Sal Poppy. You can't go in there like, you could think you're the shit just like Sal Poppy did. You could think, yeah, I have so much hype around my name. Everyone's scared of me. This and that. Anthony Taylor does not care. He's going to go in there. He's going to dog it out. He's going to try to push forward and just throw punches and just out-aggressive you. And he's shown that he's able to do it.
Yeah, and I think mostly his style is kind of many other fights, what he does, he likes to do, he kind of smothers himself in his opponent, so that kind of gets whatever game plan his opponent has out and into his. So that he definitely did that with Sal Poppy really, really well. Sal Poppy was kind of confused, didn't really know how to neutralize that, and I believe if he's able to do that same thing with King Kenny, Yeah, it should be an easy night for him. You know what I'm saying? Make things rough and tough and ugly. King Kenny is someone who likes to box, work behind the jab, especially being a taller, longer fighter. He's definitely gonna want to try to do that for the most of
Stay
the
at
night.
range.
Stay at range, stay out of range and whatnot. So if Anthony Taylor's able to close that gap, I believe it should be a good night for him.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Anthony Taylor, he's not the best boxer. Technically wise, he's not very good. He's just what you would call a journeyman in the professional game. But he really found his footing in the influencer scene. And I mean, his style just provokes, just a lot of troubles for any influencer boxer, just because he's a go forward, I'm just gonna pressure you type fighter. It's very hard to deal with someone like that when you're still like an amateur, like a lot of these influencer boxers are, which is why he's had so much success when it came to against Salt Poppy, who just lacked the experience. And this actually might be the kryptonite for Kenny, because like we mentioned, he likes fighting, out of range, with the jab, trying to box you. But every single time that Kenny fights someone who pressures him or who's not afraid to throw punches at him, he struggles. Like his last fight on Misfits against Ashley Roxu. I mean, Kenny was the huge favorite. Yeah, Roxu was a nobody. And what happened? Kenny got upset. He got upset mainly because he just did not throw. He couldn't deal with Roxu's pressure. He got scared. He was intimidated. And I mean, Roxu and Taylor, two different fighters. Roxu's like 6 feet. Taylor like 5'7", short. He doesn't look too intimidating. But once he gets into the ring and realizes the pressure that Taylor's gonna bring, it is gonna cause some problems for Kenny. And I don't know. I still think Kenny's gonna win the fight, but I could see a lot of problems happening for him if he doesn't adapt to the pressure that Taylor's gonna bring.
Yeah, I think it's true. I think the different styles of this matchup is what's really making it entertaining. Is gonna make it interesting and entertaining. I think King Kenny, just like you said, his game plan is just gonna be to box, to make it a chess match, man. Like, be slow, calculated. Try to look cool at range. And what Anthony Taylor's gonna try to do is try to make it messy, just like he always does. Just go in there, forward pressure, a lot of punches, make it rough in there, and that's gonna be his game plan. So I personally have Anthony Taylor. I think Anthony Taylor can beat King Kenny. I'm still not fully bought on King Kenny, man. I know there's a lot of hype around him, and I know. Listen, I'll give him credit for his last performance. It was amazing, but I think that he still has a lot to show and a lot to prove to us that he has gotten better, and his game finally is, he's at a point where he's growing into himself as a fighter.
Yeah.
And I think someone like Anthony Taylor, this is the perfect test for him. Because if he beats Anthony Taylor, I'll give him the credit. I'll be like, okay, yeah, he's the real deal.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happening personally. I think Anthony Taylor is going to take the win.
I believe this is somewhat of a closer fight. You know what I'm saying? Both guys have their own things and their abilities and whatnot. But I just believe solely based off the Anthony Taylor having the more experience and whatnot, I think that's going to help him. And I think, he did that with Sal Poppy. He basically beat him with really experience, really. Nothing too crazy. And I think he has that. I wouldn't say levels above King Kenny, but he's definitely levels above King Kenny when it comes to like experience and whatnot, being comfortable, and not only that, but being able to adapt into certain situations. I think Kenny still has a little bit more to learn. So I think that's the reason why. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if King Kenny's able to lock in tunnel vision and pull off the offset. If he just sticks to boxing and keeps him at bay. But you think it's gonna be King Kenny?
Yeah, I think King Kenny's gonna win. I think it's gonna be very edged out. If anything, it might be a controversial win at the end of the day. But if Kenny has a good, his corner with Daly, Deji's trainer, also his team, if they're able to be smart and try to discipline Kenny to follow a game plan, which would be just keep that dude on the outside, just box him, move around the ring, use your legs, don't let him come in at you, don't let him pressure you. If they're able to create a good game plan and actually follow it, then there's no way that Kenny should lose, because he has every physical advantage in the book to beat Anthony Taylor. Yes, he lacks the experience, but he's younger. He's honestly a better boxer than Taylor. So Kenny should, if he has a good game plan, be able to beat and just outbox Taylor.
Yeah, I think a key though as well is to stick into the game plan. Yeah, box, but also don't forget to throw punches, because King Kenny sometimes forgets to throw some punches. Especially with those forward pressure type of fighters.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important for him to yes, box. Yes, you have to stay on your feet, but do not just let this guy just completely dominate the ring and throw punches while you're not being active. Because you're not gonna win just moving. You have
Just
to
flicking the jab.
Yeah, flicking the jab. You have to make him pay for his mistakes as well.
Yeah, don't let Anthony Taylor take the rhythm of the fight. That's the main thing. The main thing that he kind of does. He folds when he fights someone who is kind of a pressure type of fighter. Plus, I think this will be his shortest fighter he's ever fought. No,
Probably.
Yeah, probably. So it's basically it's gonna be like a small tank coming at him. So just as long as he prepares for that, I think he should be good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, speaking of game plan for Kenny, maybe they could utilize the game plan that they had against Gibb for this Anthony Taylor fight, because I mean, if you look at Gibb and Taylor, they're both those pressure type fighters. They go forward, they try to drown you essentially, even though it's a bit different, but their styles somewhat similar in that aspect. So I mean, hey, to be honest, this was probably one of the better opponent choices for Kenny, because I mean, he doesn't really have to tinker a lot of the game plan that they already probably had for Gibb that they were going to use. Now they can just maybe still use that game plan, but now it's just with Anthony Taylor.
Yeah, I think they are a bit different. Whereas Gibb throws more volume than Anthony Taylor, but their forward pressure is kind of what makes their styles similar. So I think that in that aspect, I think it's good that King Kenny is fighting someone who's similar style to who he was supposed to fight in Kingpin, and I think that'll probably help him. Yeah, probably would.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, did you guys see that photo of him that he released about some guy some sparring partner that he had, his eye
being a bully?
Yeah, he's being a bully. Yeah,
I don't know, absolute bully, man.
I don't know who the other guy was. I don't know if he's actually a fighter or whatever, but yeah, that guy's eye was.
There's no reason why after a sparring against an influencer your eye should be like that, man. I'm sure that guy must not fight a lot or something,
Maybe they were sparring with no headgear.
No headgear, man. Because that's a bully mentality type of thing. It's like, bro, it's sparring. You should be fighting guys who are similar to your level, and if you're not, then you shouldn't be trying to kill them like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
But maybe he is a fighter. I don't really look into it, so maybe
he's levels above.
Maybe he is levels above. Yeah, we're definitely gonna see a different King Kenny 2.0. Yeah. Speaking about traditional boxing, let's talk about the guy who's currently the most avoided fighter.
Seems that way
of our generation at the moment. It seems to be it's Shakur Stevenson. He has now been, I think if my tally is correct, 3 or 4 guys within this
5 maybe.
5. Yeah, there's 5 guys apparently who have now rejected a fight with Shakur.
Insane.
The last one being this past weekend was Frank Martin, who is known as the Ghost. Apparently, the negotiations were right. They were supposed to fight on ESPN, and then just like his nickname, he just kind of went MIA.
Yeah.
He said nope, and it just kind of vanished, and talks ended there. Yeah, what are you guys' thoughts about that?
Yeah, man, Shakur might be the boogeyman right now. Like, people are scared to get into the ring with him, dude. Like, this Frank Martin he's a top guy on 135, man.
A good fighter too.
A good fighter, undefeated, and he's also getting to that age where he has to do something dramatic. He's not young like Shakur Stevenson or like Cruz or somebody
or Devin Haney yeah, these guys.
He's not like a young guy who still has time to evolve. Like, he should be evolved. He should be pushing for these big fights, and for him to ghost the fight is just kind of crazy, man. It just kind of goes to show people are intimidated by Shakur's skills.
Or if Frank Martin, let's say, ended up getting a bigger offer on the table, let's say he got a Gervonta Davis contract, then maybe it would be it'd be understandable.
That's like one of the only scenarios.
Yeah, if he got a big fight, like a big name, like a Gervonta Davis, something like that. But if he didn't, it just looks bad. It looks really bad on him for him to essentially duck. Because then afterwards, after what's it called, ESPN reported it. Shakur Stevenson was pretty vocal online.
Went to Twitter.
On X, and he was just calling Frank Martin a duck. Posting up past clips of Frank Martin who was saying how he was like the top dog's gotta fight the top dog, something like that, around those lines. So this is overall, if he's not getting the big fight at 135, then this just looks bad for him to duck Shakur.
Yeah, it's honestly true. I mean, and yeah, Frank Martin right now is his name is looking bad. He's
I'm gonna give him. Let's just go. Let's play devil's advocate. Do you think how much money do you think they were giving him?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I've seen online. I saw like maybe 7 figures. But
that's more than enough for him, man. He's never had a big fight like that. He's not a household name or nothing.
And I was thinking too, even if it was just $1 million, that would probably be the most his biggest paycheck.
100% be his
to
biggest.
That point.
Yeah,
biggest fight, nationally televised against another guy who's pretty big as well. What more do you want, bro? Like, you are 28, you're undefeated. You've kind of had a late start already to boxing, so what are you waiting for? What are you looking for? What's kind of the game plan? Are you trying to wait until you're 30? Does it really make sense to wait until you're 30, or are you trying to look for something more softer of a competition? Is Shakur levels above you or what? Because it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Shakur is
you're at your peak, bro. Yeah. Like, what do you do? Like, why not?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, Shakur is he just has that aura about him, man. Like, his people see him fight and they see how easy he makes it look, and people are scared. There's like, because Frank Martin isn't the only one. No. We got Lomachenko, we had Cruz, Zepeda last year also. They all said no. They all said no. I do not want to fight Shakur Stevenson. So
yeah. So what's next in line then for Shakur then?
Man, I feel bad for him, bro. He's been trying to get a fight and everyone just saying no to him, bro.
Yeah, like he hasn't fought since I think earlier this year.
That tall guy, yeah.
The Japanese fighter, wasn't it, when he debuted at 135?
Yeah.
Last time, it's been a while, and I know he's a guy who's always in the gym, always staying ready. So I'm sure he's itching to get back into the ring. And I mean, I from his perspective, I'd be a little frustrated because I'd be like, man, I want to make these big fights, but no one wants to make these big fights with me. You know?
Like you can't even blame him for his inactivity, because it's like most of the time when a fighter is inactive, it's kind of on their fault. Maybe they're taking a break or a vacation or something. But like, this guy wants to fight, but it's just everyone is saying no to him. So it's like, bro, you can't blame the man. I think we gotta pull up with. I think Gamboa's gotta pull up again. So Gamboa never disappoints.
No, he always comes in, man. He
always accepts.
Nah, yeah, but it's a little for Devin Haney, for Shakur Stevenson and his team. It's a bit it's a little frustrating process that they're going through right now, I assume. So I'm sure they want to get another fight at least before the end of the year, because if not, then this would be I would say a wasted year for them.
Absolutely,
a very wasted year. Speaking of Devin Haney, though, Devin Haney and Regis Prograis reportedly have agreed to terms for a fight for December now instead of October. Now December showdown. This fight took way too long, in my opinion, to be negotiated. For especially a 140 fight like this against, Prograis isn't that big of a name. Maybe for hardcore fans he is, but for more of the casual viewer he's not. Devin Haney's growing his name, but regardless, this fight shouldn't have taken that long to have been made. But I mean, at least we finally got it, right? At least it was actually confirmed. We're getting a fight. We talked about this last time. Who we thought was gonna win. Are y'all still sticking to your predictions on the winner, or are you guys swaying more towards the other side?
Yeah, just like you said, man. Finally, this fight was announced. It was, there was so much issues going on, which who knows whose fault it was. We have
The Haneys?
Yeah, we have our opinions about it. So finally, it was announced December 9th, San Francisco. Gonna be a great fight. I'm still riding with Regis Prograis, man. I think he's the real deal, and I think he's big enough, and especially now Haney's not gonna be able to weight bully people. Regis Prograis is just he's hits too hard. His boxing IQ is underrated. And I think that he's going to go in there, and he might even stop Devin Haney, man. Because Devin Haney does not, let's talk about it. He does not have a chin, man. Like, that boy, if Lomachenko is hurting you at 135, man, Regis Prograis is going to do some damage to you.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is that if I'm not mistaken, he's not even that tall either.
No.
Yeah, he's like, what, 5'8"?
Haney?
No, Regis.
Yeah, 5'8", 5'9", yeah.
5'9". Yeah, he's not that tall either, but he's also a southpaw too, so that's another thing. Yeah, it's really interesting just the differences between like their styles and whatnot, what they bring to the table. But interesting enough though, like just to play devil's advocate, like if I'm mistaken, this would be Regis Prograis' opponent. Where, I mean, Haney, what he has, he's pretty speedy. He's pretty fast. At 140, it's possible that he might even be a little bit more quicker now that he doesn't have to drain himself for whatever he walks around at, when he's not fighting. To now at 140, it's possible that he might feel a little bit better now, So that might be something that Regis will have to figure out a way around that. But initially, I'm still going to stick with my prediction. I believe Regis should win. I think it'll be a decision, though. Yeah.
Damn, where's the hope for the dream here, man?
Fuck the dream.
What do you mean, bro? Nah, I'm still rocking with the Devin Haney win.
Yeah.
I think Devin Haney's gonna beat him. I think he's gonna outbox him. It's gonna be a bit closer than his other fights, mainly because of the weight and how big Prograis is, and a big puncher he is too. He will cause some troubles for Haney, I believe so. But at the end of the day, I believe Haney's just too skillful of a boxer to let Prograis beat him. So I'm predicting a Devin Haney knockout win.
That boy ain't knocking nobody out, especially at 140.
A Devin Haney a decision win for him. Yeah, so it's a good fight. One that I'm glad is being made. Hopefully it sparks up more fights at 140 because they had Barbosa versus Ramirez supposedly.
Jose Ramirez?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, wow. So Barbosa's finally getting that step-up fight that he's been looking for. He's been calling out Teofimo for a while, but doesn't get Teofimo, but he gets former champ at 140, which is a big step-up for him. Matias is also in that division. He has a fight coming up. I forgot against who. My favorite guy at 140, Matias. Yeah, he's my favorite guy. And then Teofimo, who's not really just chilling right now.
I think he said he was going to come back, no? I think the organization said that he is going to defend or something, or he informed them or something.
Yeah, they didn't they upgrade him to super?
I did see that.
A super champion, which is now makes him have less mandatories and an automatic shot at the title at 147.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is...
It's because he's him.
It's such a weird perk to have.
It kind of is, right?
Yeah, right.
It's like a weird, I don't know.
Whatever that means, yeah. Super, regular.
Oh, but I mean, like, it comes with perks.
Yeah, I mean, it's perked up. Yeah,
it's
perked up. Yeah.
Like yeah. I meant like benefits.
No, yeah, no, yeah. There's some benefits to him being down to the super.
The super, yeah, some whatever, yes, because now it gives him more time. He doesn't have like a mandatory that he's got to fight between a certain date and then, or else he loses the title. Now he has more time, and then just like you said, if he goes up in weight, he can challenge the champion, which is Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, so hopefully we get some more fights at 140. Because that's seems to be a more stacked up division too, and yeah. So also anything up with Gervonta Davis?
So now that it's official, Devin Haney is officially moving up. He was undisputed at 135, so now all of the belts are vacated, or at least the WBA in this scenario. The WBA announced that they are upgrading Gervonta Davis to the super champ or something, whatever. Basically, He's an email champ now. 2-division email champion, Gervonta Tank Davis. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what it said. Is that what it said?
Yeah.
Kind of like that? Dang.
Well, I mean, they didn't call him an emo champ. I mean, that's me talking. But no, yeah, he's gonna be upgraded. So he's gonna be a 2-division world champion.
Does that mean he'll have the same perks as Teofimo?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
Well, that's kind of cool, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
For him.
For him, yeah.
I guess I wouldn't be complaining if in the email they emailed me it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have to fight any champion.
No, yeah, I didn't really have to do much, but, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess good for him. Who are the current champions at 135? No one, right?
It was Haney.
It was Haney.
Yeah.
So, like, now those belts are
Yeah.
up for grabs then.
Yeah, they're up. I mean, yeah, they're gonna be
WBA supposed.
the WBA. But I don't know about the other ones, but I'm like sure they're gonna be vacated. You can't. You know,
Okay.
Haney's gonna have to vacate them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Let's talk about the big guys. The baddest man on the planet, Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury. They had their face-offs. Or this press conference this past week. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not really looking forward to it. I'm not really interested, really so much of it whatsoever. Kind of, I'm going to have some pushback on Tyson, kind of holding up the division. I would have liked to have seen him fight Usyk instead, but instead we're seeing him fight Francis Ngannou, who, kind of funny enough, is being trained by Mike Tyson for whatever reason. We should see that later this year. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Bro, don't you want to find out who the baddest man on the planet is?
No.
Dude, come on, bro. We gotta. It's just necessary, bro. Who's the baddest man on the planet? We have to know. Tyson Fury or Francis Ngannou. Yeah, first press conference. It kind of went as expected. This is one thing I want to talk about. Do you guys actually think Tyson Fury is 6'9"? I don't believe he's 6'9" anymore. No, I don't think he's 6'9". Because, firstly, Francis, he stepped up with Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou is 6'4". And Tyson Fury was taller than him, but it was not like 5 inches, man. It was not 5 inches.
Was it just because of the perspective of the angle, like the angle?
I don't believe so, because, I mean, they're like literally staring each other in the eye.
But how was like I don't know, because I know what you're talking about. But I also saw another clip, another like shot of them like from further away, and then you could tell that Tyson had a pretty decent height advantage on him. And I don't know, did Tyson pull up with no shoes?
He had shoes. I think he did have shoes. He wasn't barefoot.
Okay, I was gonna
I don't
say,
know what type of shoes,
Yeah, this thing.
Yeah.
Maybe Francis wore high heels.
Yeah, Francis.
Shoes?
No, I didn't.
Keep the shoes?
But another thing as well, Tyson Fury also took a picture. This was a while ago now. This was not that recent. Tyson Fury took a picture with Alex Pereira, who is now he's a light heavyweight in the UFC, light heavyweight contender. He's also 6'4", and they seemed devilishly close in height. I was like, this is a bit strange. I know Tyson Fury is definitely not 6'4", but it kind of comes into question whether or not he's 6'9", because 6'9", there's a lot of talk obviously about his size and just how big he is, because it's agreed upon that he's 6'9", but I don't know, man. Maybe he's a bit shorter. I don't know. Maybe they gave him an inch or two.
You know what I think? I think he could be doing what maybe Israel Arasanda, or however you pronounce his last name. Adesanya. You know what he does when he's face to face with his opponent? Maybe after like the weigh-ins or whatever. What he does is that he's also a tall dude. He's like 6'4", but sometimes he like opens his legs a little bit more wider. So he's like a little shorter. Maybe that's what Tyson's doing.
I don't believe so.
You don't think so?
I don't think that boy is throwing it back like that, He's just standing upright.
But one thing is, though, like, he is taller than Wilder. And
no, he definitely is.
And Wilder is 6'7", though.
Supposedly.
Supposedly?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of comes into question, man.
Well, okay, so Tommy Fury is what, like 6'2"? Because
Is he?
Tommy Fury's huge. Have you not
6'2"?
seen? Bro,
Logan Paul is 6'2".
dude, no. Dude, they're like around the same height. If not, Tommy's a bit big. Bro, but Tommy's huge.
Then Logan?
Bro, have you seen? Dude. Oh my, y'all
Ain't
gonna
no
make
way.
me search for you. Hold up, you talk.
Ain't no way, man.
You got to pull up that picture, bro.
Pretty sure he's like a little taller than KSI. Cause KSI's 5'11".
I believe he is taller than KSI,
Pretty sure
but
Tommy Fury's like 6. Yeah.
I'll give Tommy Fury 6.5.
Yeah, 6.
6 foot and a
I think
half.
he's 6. Yeah, no, he's not. He's not a mass monster. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, he's big, but no.
Yeah, because
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, just from what I can remember from the press conference, Dillion looked taller than him.
Dillon looked taller than who?
Than Tommy Fury.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh yeah, I mean
he's like 6'1".
Yeah, remember. I was telling you guys. I was like, yeah, Dillon Danis is like.
He's pretty tall.
He's tall. Like people kind of like underestimate how big of a human he actually is. But what were you gonna say?
The biggest internet tall.
I mean, him and Jake are like nearly the same size.
Yeah,
it's kind of like even.
Jake, yeah, they're all kind of similar in height. KSI, Jake, and Tommy.
Okay,
Yeah.
regardless of that, there was like Tommy Fury posted a clip of him sparring with Tyson, and they were just doing like body shot sparring or whatever. But when you look at them inside that ring, you saw how big Tyson made him. Dude, Tyson made him look like a little kid, man. And I think we forget how big of Tommy is. So, I mean, I think maybe he's not 6'9", but I don't think he's 6'9", but maybe like 6'7" or something.
Yeah, I think maybe. Yeah, I think like pushing 6'8", maybe. You know, but I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he's 6'9" anymore. Honestly,
Yeah,
I'm gonna need a tape measurement. You know what I'm saying?
Every time you see him,
Yeah,
if you
I'm
ever see him, just pull it out.
Know? Yeah.
I've seen him in person when Jose Ramirez fought against what's his name?
Taylor.
Yeah, Josh Taylor. Tyson Fury pulled up, and I never got to see him like in person, but just sort of from afar, I was like, dude, that's a big dude.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna be
Like,
towering by everybody
for sure, like 6'5", and I think after 6'5", you just kind of like stop like paying attention to like
right
6'6",
yeah.
6'7", you know, whatever.
It's like yeah.
Unless he's like paired up or like standing up against someone who's like of that height. So it's possible that maybe he's not 6'9". Maybe he's like a little bit
shorter,
shorter
like
than that.
like an inch or two, maybe.
Yeah,
inch and a half, something like that. Yeah, but yeah, I just thought it was kind of interesting, and it wasn't my first time. You know, like that idea came into my mind. Like I said, Alex Pereira also took a picture with him. And everyone was talking about it there. Everyone was talking about it because Alex Pereira obviously is 6'4", and then Tyson Fury is claimed to be 6'9". People in the comments were like, "Someone's lying about their height, man." I was like, I'm not pointing fingers, but somebody is, because they're pretty much fucking identical. It made no sense. I was like, what is going on right now? What? So
maybe he slouches too.
maybe,
I don't know.
I think he does. He doesn't have great posture.
Yeah.
But I mean, one thing that we did get from the press conference was Tyson Fury's shirt takeoff.
We got that physique, man, of a champion.
Looked like a bear.
He's like, he just got out of hibernation or something.
Yeah,
dude.
like he just straight up just took it. And he's so funny. But
Yeah.
overall, the fight between Fury and Ngannou, I really don't care about it. I'm gonna watch it, of course. You know, when it happens, I'm gonna watch it.
You're gonna pay.
But the build up to it, I honestly could care less. I think there's bigger fish to fry in the heavyweight division, especially in boxing. I wish Tyson would be more serious about, you know, trying to actually do something more in boxing rather than just. I mean, this is obviously just a huge money fight.
Yeah.
Huge money fight. I know he. To me, it seems apparent that Tyson's really into that mindset of, you know, money over legacy at a certain point, because I mean, you're really going out. You're still a champion. You're still people want to see you, especially like just unify or just become undisputed in the division. Like, you still have the opportunity, but yet you're fighting Francis Ngannou, who's not even a boxer, over in Saudi Arabia for who knows how much money. When you could be fighting Usyk and, you know, actually like cementing like your full-on legacy, because there's still a lot of people who doubt Tyson Fury because they're just like, oh, he beat Klitschko, you know, props to that. But then you beat Wilder, and you're telling me that beating those two guys makes you an all-time, you know, great, you know, makes you one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. No, you know, that's what people are saying. So I feel if Fury were to beat Usyk, you know, and really actually be more serious about it, then I would see no complaints, no more backlash, no more, people doubting him. They'll be like, yeah, he's undoubtedly the greatest heavyweight of the era.
Yeah, I think, I actually don't think it's, he's like in his mind. I don't think it's Tyson Fury's mind. He's like, oh, I just want money over glory and this and that. I think he's just kind of like crazy, where like to the point where like he just wants to like he doesn't really care, he doesn't care about those two things. I'm sure, obviously, the money is cool, and I'm sure the legacy that he's building up, there that he was building up, is also cool. But I think he's just kind of crazy, where he's just like, hey, shit talking, and then people saying, oh, Francis Ngannou, the baddest man of the planet, and then his crazy ego type of shit is like, no, I gotta go beat him. So then he just makes a fight with him. I think it's a bit more. I don't think Tyson Fury had the logical conclusion to come up with the a money fight.
Well, I mean, he has stated that like one of the reasons why he's doing this is because of the money. He also mentioned the fact with his whole series on Netflix, he also got paid a bag as well.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that also goes into it. So I don't blame him. Like between Usyk and Francis Ngannou, the payday of either or, like it's definitely a difference. So I would say yes, one is money, two, and I think he's off of Bean too.
I just think he's crazy.
That's what it is.
I think it's crazy. Yeah.
Crazy off of Bean, and so yeah. But I believe going back to what you said about the legacy though, I think he has kind of cemented his legacy, or it's like cementing. You know what I'm saying? He beat Klitschko. He got all the belts, and then he didn't really get them all back though. But he became a champion again as well. So that also kind of like speaks high volume. I think on the Mount Rushmore of heavyweights, I think you kind of have to put him up there too.
I don't believe so. He, I mean, if for him to be in that Mount Rushmore of heavyweights, he has to have beaten the best heavyweights in his time. Yes, he beat Klitschko. Yes, he beat Wilder. But he never fought Anthony Joshua. Never happened. Especially when Joshua was still on his peak. Before the Anthony Reese fight, he never fought. He hasn't fought Usyk yet. Like the best heavyweights. He fought Chisora in his last professional fight.
Was it Chisora? I thought it was Dillion White. No.
Dillion White. No.
No. Oh.
He fought Chisora for the trilogy. He fought Dillion White, but Dillion White has proved he's not, an elite fighter at the heavyweight. He hasn't really showed. I love Tyson Fury. Don't get me wrong. He's one of my favorite fighters, but at the same time, you gotta criticize him and ask a question like whether or not if he actually deserves to be as one of the greatest heavyweights. And he has the potential, but he just has not been able to do it. There's just the fights that have been there. He just has not done it, and it's to the point where it just gets a little frustrating being like a fan, and especially the heavyweight division, which is such a good division, but it's literally one of the worst divisions right now in boxing because the fights are not happening, and one of them being is because of Tyson Fury. Come on.
Well, I think when he wins this fight against Francis Ngannou, he's gonna get the title of baddest man on the planet. I think that puts him at the very top of the Rushmore of heavyweights in the history. Yeah. And this is his legacy, man.
Legacy cemented.
Beating Francis Ngannou, some UFC. Trained by you can't forget that.
There we go.
With the little asterisk right there.
Another
Francis
one of the greats.
Ngannou, AKA Mike Tyson protege. I think it cements his legacy as the greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah. And he just rides off into sunset with his millions and millions of dollars.
And his Netflix show. He turns into like a Kardashian. The Furies. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess going back to the actual fight, that's another reason why I'm not too concerned because of basically our concerns. Like he's kind of like the heavyweights. Watching a heavyweight fight is so interesting because almost anything can happen at any second. You know what I'm saying? Both guys have the power to hurt each other or just knock them out in one punch. And I think he's, being a gatekeeper, not having the fights, Everyone else has to fight or do other things in order so the public can actually see the fight. So Tyson Fury should fight. Will win against Francis Ngannou. And so I think that's how it is.
Yeah, pretty clear. I think only UFC diehard fans or people who don't understand
the PFL fans,
or people who don't understand boxing think that Francis Ngannou has a chance. Tyson Fury is gonna mop the floor with him.
He's gonna expose him. Like,
I mean,
he does
it's
not.
gonna be easy, man.
Does he have any boxing abilities? I know he started boxing,
he
right?
hits hard.
He started boxing first, no? And
Nah,
no,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how he got introduced into like fighting, into the combat sports. It was boxing and then MMA, but yeah, he doesn't really have, especially when you compare a great like Tyson Fury, like Francis Ngannou is just gonna get washed.
He doesn't have the skills.
He doesn't have the skills.
Completely different class. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anything else? I think we got it. Let us know what do you guys think. Is Shakur the most avoided fighter of our generation? Does Francis Ngannou have what it takes to beat Tyson Fury? Is Dillon Danis the greatest troll, or is he the greatest fighter? Let us know in the comments below or in our Discord. Link in the description. Until then, it's been your boy Rudo.
Pablo.
Also.
And it's been the Last Round Boxing Podcast. Peace.